The Scum Report. Yes. And we roll again on a Saturday. And as always, thank you for listening. The Scum Report. You know, I was listening to that little intro that I came up with. And I don't know what I was really trying to shoot for there. Was I trying to be like Ted Koppel? Or maybe Tom Brokaw? How about Matt Lauer? Nah, not feeling it? Me neither. Either way, oh well. It works for the purposes of this. I'm going to start off with something a little different. And the reason I want to is because right before I started the show, I saw another commercial. Yeah, nothing screams excitement like me talking about commercials, but I have to bring this up. And it's the testosterone commercial with Frank Thomas. Not hating on Frank Thomas, okay? But the commercial is so fucking cheesy. You know, he's walking through and the ladies, oh my god, is that Frank Thomas? The baseball player? No, he's the hunk. Yeah. Are your testosterone levels lower now that you're 45, 50? Take this pill and, you know, you can still walk around and have women want to have sex with you. Those commercials are so bad. Jimmy Johnson used to advertise for one of them too, but it's just like, can't we get I don't know, a better producer of these commercials? Just super cheesy. But I want to stick with this commercial thing because it's just something that I think we see too much of. Like I said, nothing screams excitement like commercials. The lawyer commercials where every other day there's a lawsuit. Did you take Bear back in 1996? Well, you might be entitled to money. Or back in 2003, people that took the drug, whatever it is, they are now millions of dollars worth of lawsuits to people that have taken, that had been prescribed this pill 14 fucking years ago. Everything is a lawsuit. Seriously. It never ends. And speaking of that, with the whole pill thing, no wonder the pharmaceutical companies are so strong in our country. They want everybody on some kind of fucking pill. I might as well be on the pill for the frequent bladder syndrome because I woke up twice last night to piss. Shit, I've got it. I've got FBS. I'm gonna have to go see the doctor because if I start waking up 3 times to take a piss, I better get some pill. I want to be on a pill. Like every little fucking thing. Do your toenails hurt? Do you wake up and the pain of the toenail is destroying your quality of life because you don't have toenail clippers strong enough to clip the toenails? Well, we got a pill for you. It really, I know I'm kind of exaggerating here, but it's really gotten that ridiculous. And the last one, and I'll wrap this whole commercial thing up. I just couldn't help myself, I'm sorry. It just really makes me laugh, and I honestly probably shouldn't be laughing about it because it's a serious subject. And I'm talking about the drug addiction commercials. And it's the guy, I can't remember which one it is because there's so many of those now. But they always show these people at the beginning and they tell you what they were addicted to. I was on heroin, you know. I was on Oxycontin. The one, it makes me laugh every fucking time. The guy goes, I was on crack cocaine. Really? That's the best I could have done a better job than that. I was on crack cocaine. I had oral sex with men for crack cocaine. Well, let's not get ridiculous there, but seriously, that's the best you can do? I was on crack cocaine. Well, what kind of fucking crack cocaine were you smoking, dude? You should get your money back. Alright. Enough of the commercials. First story I want to talk about is Kathy Griffin. Why? Because she deserves to be talked about. And by the way, and I mentioned this on Twitter, I am giving away a new weekly award. Alright, that's coming up here in a little bit. I know you can't wait. But honestly, it's an award that you don't want to win. Anyway, so Kathy Griffin, she got shit canned from the New Year's Eve thing because she pulled that stunt where she held Trump's fake fucking head or whatever. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. My whole thing with her though is, who cares? And I'm not trying to be mean here, and because she calls herself a comedian. Who's fucking laughing? I've never heard or seen anything from her that has made me laugh. I really haven't. I'm not trying to be mean here. But of course, so what's his name? Anderson Cooper. They hire Andy Cohen to replace her. And supposedly she worked for him and they were good friends. Well, she gets mad. And these two are like in this little, whatever you want to call it, Twitter war. Oh, it's a Twitter war. It's trending on Twitter. They were asking him, TMZ was asking him, he was walking somewhere, this Andy Cohen guy, and they were talking about Kathy Griffin. And he was like, who? Oh, you can't do that. And then she gets mad because of that. And then makes this 20-minute video. You should go watch it on YouTube. It's so fucking ridiculous. And the first thing about this video, my God, I don't know, she just doesn't look real. Like, her face looks like a giant piece of rubber. I don't know if it's a plastic surgery or what. Seriously, it's hard to even look at her fucking face. I'm not trying to be mean here. I'm just telling you. She's fucking scary looking. Maybe that's why she's angry. Just a thought. Anyway, so she goes on this. She starts it off first with this, where she plays this message that she gets from Harvey Levin. That's the guy from TMZ that's on the People's Court and all that other shit. And he leaves her his number. And then she goes off on him like, why do you have my phone number? And supposedly all these different people gave her death threats and called her mom at a nursing home. You know what, bitch? You brought this on yourself. I don't fucking feel sorry for you. And then on top of this, tying back in the Andy Cohen thing, she's like, well, he offered me cocaine when I was working with him. Oh, wow, that's so shocking. Who gives a fuck? So what? He offered you cocaine. And everybody knows, and she says this too, I find it offensive that, everybody knows how straight edge I am. I find it offensive that you are even making a fucking video. Alright, you had your 15 minutes of fame. No one gives a shit about you anymore. That's what she's really mad about. But if you want, some cheap entertainment, it's on YouTube, check it out. I can't remember the title, but something to hell. Something like that. That's the title of it. Kathy Griffin. Check it out. Alright. The award. I've decided that there needs to be an award every week. That way it'll, get more people excited about the show. Hopefully. That's the idea. I'm calling it the Ass Maggot of the Week. And that's a word that honestly, it should be trending on Twitter. And I started this word about a year and a half ago when I started doing all these podcasts. I think the word ass maggot is an amazing word when you think about it. Like, if you really want to take a dig at somebody, you really want to call him out, you call him an ass maggot. I mean, is there anything worse than an ass maggot? Think about that. That's even worse than pond scum. And of course, pond scum is in my album review ratings. Yeah, I would rather be pond scum than be an ass maggot. Just saying. Just my opinion. I could be wrong. The ass maggot of the week, this should come as no surprise, is Kevin Spacey. Talk about fucking disappointing. Alright, so I read the story with the actor Anthony Rapp. And for those of you who don't know who he is, he was in Road Trip. I about said Roadkill right there. It's a bad Field Trip song. It's a good song. You should listen to it sometime. Anyway, Road Trip. He was the guy with the glasses. Kind of funny. He played the nerd. You know, they called him and he pretended he was the teacher. He liked the blonde chick in there. I can't think of her name. Anyway, and he was in. He's been in a couple other movies. He reported it. You know, saying, "Hey, Kevin Spacey did this shit to me a long time ago." And then a couple other people came out. Robert Cavazos and Tony Montana. I shouldn't laugh, but I had to laugh when I seen that name, Tony Montana. Scarface. Anyway, and then House of Cards gets canceled. There were 8 people on that show that worked on that show that said he did something to him. What the fuck? And I'm sorry. And I know right now that every day there's somebody new coming out. And this is going to happen for a while. So we just got to kind of let the dust settle a little bit. I know that some of these people are coming out. We're going to find out they're probably not telling the truth 100%. But when you hear a story like this, we're talking like 11 people now. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Come on. It's just as bad as Harvey Weinstein. Fuck Kevin Spacey. And I'll tell you what. I liked Kevin Spacey. And I knew he was different and unique. You know, he always played a fucking weirdo really good. There's a reason why he played those characters so well. It's because he's a weird dude. I mean, remember the movie Seven? With Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman? He was really good in that. He played a fucking serial killer. I'm not saying he's a serial killer. I'm not putting him on that level, but he's still a sick fuck. And then, isn't it ironic when all this shit comes out, then he says, "Oh, I'm gay." What the fuck's that got to do with anything? That doesn't mean shit. Who cares? You're a sick predator. Alright? And just let the dust settle. I know, because I'm already seeing it, and I'm going to say it again. I've been saying this for a month now. Shut up when you see a post of some actress or actor posting something about something that happened to him like 10 or 15 years ago. I already see, oh great, here we go. This shit's never going to stop. Fucking liberal Hollywood. Look, there's a lot of shit about Hollywood I don't like. That's why I talk about it so much. But there's a reason that these people are saying all this shit. And it's disgusting. And let's be happy for once that people are coming out and we're trying to do something. Let's give people credit for hopefully putting an end to all these sick fuckers running around in Hollywood. There needs to be change, and hopefully this is a step in the right direction. So that's what we should be applauding. That's what we should be talking about. Forget the couple idiots that are riding, the train to get 15 minutes of fame. Now I'm going to kind of go, it's a little bit of sports, but not really. So I talked about last week the coach from Florida, Joe McElwain. I think that's how you pronounce his name. So he had a press conference and he was talking about getting death threats to him and his family and the players on his team. Then come to find out it wasn't his team. He was talking about like 10 years ago or some shit. And it's like, why would you say that? And of course they fired him the next day, or something like that. They agreed to part ways. But like, why would you even say that? Florida investigated because there's no proof. He never said anything to anybody. None of the players have said anything. And then he said, well, I was just kind of referring to shit that had happened like 10 years ago. Well, you probably should have kind of stated that before you said that in a press conference. Fucking people, I tell you. And the next story. It's this Zeke Elliott thing. And everyone knows I am a fan of the Cowboys, and I'm telling you, I am not saying this because I'm a fan of the Cowboys. I'm being totally objective. Because you have to read the whole story. Read it from the beginning. Okay? Now we know. We've had this domestic violence issue. The NFL has changed its stance on it. Right? And that's okay. That's a good thing. These athletes that come home and beat on their women, they shouldn't be allowed to play football. They should have to pay a price for doing that. I have no problem with that. But we also, the NFL kind of has this thing where a player doesn't necessarily have to be guilty of any crime, and the NFL can still punish them. And that's what's going on here. And for those who don't know, this all started, it kind of started last year. They were talking about, well, he could be suspended for 6 games because of some incidents that happened. And come to find out, sure enough, they suspended him for 6 games, even though no charges were filed against him in any court. But this is the NFL taking their hardline stance. We don't care. We kind of have our own set of rules. And in fairness, the players agreed to that. They signed off on their last agreement. Try not to get too technical here, but I've dug deep on this story because I want to get it right. Well, of course, finally, then the next decision came, and it got postponed or something. He got to play for another couple weeks because the judge was on vacation. Well, she comes back and she's like, okay, he is suspended. She agrees with the NFL or whatever. And then on Friday, he appeals to a different court, and he's allowed. Then again, he's allowed to play again on Sunday. And here's the thing. First off, all the people that hate the Cowboys, and there's lots of them, I understand that. Oh, here we go. Look at America's team. Sucking Zeke's ass. But what's worse is the fans of the Cowboys and some of the stupid shit that they say. Well, is he playing or is he not? I don't really care at this point. Would you quit thinking about yourself for 5 fucking seconds? Quit worrying about your fantasy team and whether the Cowboys win or lose on Sunday. The guy, and I'm talking about Zeke Elliott, has said, I am not a woman beater. And that is a big deal. He's going to fight this to the end, and he should if he feels like he didn't do anything wrong. Some of these people, it drives me fucking crazy. He just needs to take the 6 games to get it over with. No, not if he didn't do anything wrong. And he has made some dumb decisions. There was a drinking and driving incident. And then he was at a club and somebody got in a fight. And then there's another party pulled this girl's shirt up or something. He's 20 years old. right? I'm not excusing him for being stupid, but all partying and being young and immature is a totally different thing than being a woman beater. And just remember, he is not guilty in any criminal court. This is all the NFL saying, hey, we think he should be suspended because we hold our players to a higher standard. And just go, and you guys go read some of the shit that this disgusting bitch has wrote and said. I'm talking about Tiffany Thompson, the alleged victim. I am calling her a disgusting bitch. You can go read the stories. Talking about, we can get, telling her friend to agree with her on saying shit so they can get money out of him. And saying, I'm a white girl and he's black, they'll find him guilty. Just, this bitch, I'm telling you, she's disgusting. She's very sickening because of women that have actually had domestic violence against them. They should be disgusted because it's ridiculous that somebody like her and is really affecting someone else's life. Now, if he was a woman beater, you bet your ass I'd be saying, hey, I don't think you should be allowed to play ever, period. That's just my opinion. But there's more to the story. And it's just crazy that now, basically, all they're fighting over is procedure. It has nothing to do with domestic violence. But Tiffany Thompson, trust me, pretty vile and disgusting woman. Alright. And kind of on that same thing here, I have to bring it up. It's Peyton Manning. And I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm not a huge Peyton Manning fan. Never have been. It used to fucking just drive me crazy. He's the greatest regular season quarterback of all time. And, he'd go to the line and change plays 23 different fucking times. It's like, hike the fucking ball. We get it. You're smart. You read the field and you throw the ball perfectly in the spot and all that shit. Just Peyton Manning nauseum. Him and that giant fucking head. My God. That's a big head. That thing, it's like a planet. It's got its own fucking solar system. Look at that head. Alright. I don't know if you read this story, but it's Jamie Nawright. I believe that's her name. This supposedly happened a long time ago when he's at Tennessee. She said that he, sexually harassed her. What happened was he pulled his shorts down, and she says put his balls and rubbed his ass in her face. And his version of the story is like, hey, I mooned a teammate. And I guess he was kind of trying to say that he didn't know she was there. Whatever. Well, she filed a lawsuit against Tennessee and she got $300,000 for it. Alright? And I'm telling you, I'm not excusing anything about what Peyton Manning did. I don't know what the actual story is. Did he just, pull his shorts down and say, hey, check these out, or whatever? I don't know. But it happened, I don't know what it was. How long was it? 15, 20 years ago. She got $300,000 for it. And then she does this interview with Deborah Norville on Current Affair or whatever it is. And she's talking about how it's still affecting her. And it's just like, okay, listen, bitch, I'm sorry. I'm actually, I'm taking Peyton Manning's side on this. You got paid $300,000, and she was talking about how she's on Ambien. Like, I can't sleep without Ambien. Yeah, you and 500,000 other fucking people that are on it. Anger and Ambien is not a good combination. And it's just like, I'm sorry, it just doesn't feel right to me. Her story, and I am not diminishing like acts of sexual harassment. I'm not. But see, it's women like her that ruin it for legitimate people. And she comes off as a cash grab. That's what it comes off as. And she got her $300,000. It really bothers me that there are going to be stories like this, like I was mentioning before. It's going to be like this for a while. And once again, we got to let the dust settle before, we figure out what everything that's actually happened in Hollywood, in sports and entertainment, and all these people that are getting sexually harassed. But she's one of those. Don't fucking believe her. And then real quick, and we'll get off all this fucking Hollywood and nasty shit. I can't think of her name. I think it's Deborah Margulis, the actress. She came out this morning, I read it online, that she was sexually harassed by Steven Seagal. That guy can go fuck himself. I believe her. You can go online, that's another guy. Check out all the people that he was an asshole to. He lies and keeps lying about shit, like he trained the CIA and all kinds of bullshit. That guy, fuck him. And then he's like a citizen of Russia now. What the fuck? And he was mentioning something earlier about before. This was like a month back or so, and it was about I think it was about the protests from the NFL players. And he was like, "Oh, that's bullshit." Oh, shut up. You don't even fucking live here, so you don't have an opinion. Okay? Go back to doing your stupid B-budget fucking movies where you walk into a room and kick the shit out of 25 people saying one-liners. God, I can't stand that guy, sorry. I had to mention that. Sorry. Sorry about the voice. It's one thing about going live, I can't hit my little pause button. So, unfortunately, you get the scratchy throat. So let's go back to Hollywood. Let's talk about some good stuff. Kind of good stuff. So, Thor Ragnarok came out. Why am I mentioning this? I'm burnt out on the fucking superhero movies. I talked a little bit about this last week, and everybody loves this movie. Oh, it's so funny, and I'm not hating on the dude who plays Thor. What's his name? Chris Hemsworth. I saw some of the trailers. It looks funny. We get Spider-Man, then we get Batman, then we get the Justice League, then we get Wonder Woman, and then we get the Flash, and then they get other movies that they make off of those movies. It just never ends. And I've already seen that they're making, or they're the trailers for the Justice League. Same thing. And I'm sorry, I just cannot get into Ben Affleck, or Ben Affleck being Batman. I just can't. Alright? It's just hard it's hard for me to forget about him being an asshole, basically. Getting drunk and copping pills. He's just not a good Batman. I'm sorry. And the Justice League, I have no interest in it. And how many different Spider-Mans have we got? Right? Like the last one that came out in July, that's like the third different one that they've rebooted. It just never ends. That's just my opinion. Hey, if you like it, you like all the movies, go for it. I'm just taking a break from them. And the other thing, okay, so I am a Star Wars fan, and I'll check the new one when it comes out in December. But holy fuck, like now they're making this Han Solo movie, and it's just a standalone Han Solo movie. Okay, they had that one last year, what was it, Rogue One? And then they're talking like they've got 5 or 6 other movies that are not with the trilogy, they're just standalone movies. Just stop it. What, are you going to have a fucking origin movie about R2-D2? Is that the next one? You know what? I'd take one for Boba Fett. How about that? That'd be alright. But see, that's overkill too. You know, and I like Han Solo. But you know what's going to happen? Well, we'll have a Han Solo 1, and then they'll have a sequel to that. I mean, how many other movies are you going to piggyback off of the main one? You can kill this franchise pretty easily by overdoing all this shit, you know. And my God, that first trailer that came out, or the second one that was on Monday Night Football, they have broken that thing down for weeks now. It's like, my God, people, it hasn't even shown at the theaters yet. Relax. It's a trailer. It's a trailer. You can speculate all you want. But there's this channel on YouTube, an hour. They took an hour to break down the trailer. Every little section of it. What was it, a 2-minute trailer? It's insanity. You know, that's how it goes now, man. Especially in Hollywood. Alright, so we're going to finish this up. Music, finally. I know that's what you say. It's like, isn't that what you should be talking about? Music? But this is my little weekly thing to get other shit off my chest. I need this. This is for me. Alright. So, Cannibal Corpse, 14th album, came out yesterday. Red Before Black. The reason I'm mentioning this is because there was a review on Banger, a channel I love on YouTube. It's awesome. They got the Lockhorns debate, where they, debate different genres of heavy metal. It's awesome. Sam Dunn is the king. He made Headbanger's Journey documentary. He did Metal Evolution. I really love that channel. But the girl on there yesterday just fucking annoyed me with her review. I am not even a huge death metal fan, okay? But there's something about Cannibal Corpse, their interviews, they're pretty cool guys. They just, down to earth. Her review, like she'd play a part of a song with the solo, and she's like, and laugh and joke about it. I don't know. It just felt like a weird review, almost like she was making fun of him. And the thing that really bothered me the most, I guess, is, well, it's not real technical and it's simple. Really? Have you ever tried to play their fucking music on an instrument? She's in some kind of band, supposedly. I don't know what instrument she plays. Okay, maybe it's not as technical as some of the other fucking extreme bands out there, but it's not easy to play. And I don't know why. And like I said, it's crazy because I'm not a huge death metal fan, but they deserved just some more respect from her. It blows me away. They've been around since 1988. Think about that. And their drummer, Paul, I try to say his last name, but I butcher it every time. It just blows me away. I think that dude's like 50 years old, and it's like he's inhuman on the drum kit, seriously. So, and in my review yesterday, when I reviewed it, I said, are they going to get any new fans by releasing this album? Probably not. It's Cannibal Corpse. You either like them or you don't. But they've got to be doing something right for a band that's been doing this for almost 3 decades. So, And I got some Limp Bizkit news. How about that? Everybody's favorite lead singer, Fred Durst. What the fuck is that turd up to? Do we even fucking care? We don't. And his guitarist said the same thing, Wes Borland. I thought this was an interesting story because supposedly there's been this Limp Bizkit album that's supposed to come out sometime in the last 5 or 6 years. I don't know. I've kind of read about it. And I believe it was on Loudwire, and they were asking him about it. And he's like, to be honest with you, I don't know where the new Limp Bizkit record's at. I don't know when it's going to be released. And I don't really care, because no one cares. And he's right. And the interviewer thought that was funny. He's like, so you're in the band and you're saying you don't care because nobody else cares. Yeah. Right. They had their little 15 minutes of fame. Had a couple friends that liked them. I don't understand it, personally. I thought they sucked ass. And Fred Durst is just such a, like I said before, a fucking giant peanut turd. Remember when he was bragging about sleeping with Britney Spears? And he was like 38, she was like 16. Go fuck yourself. And yeah, just scrap it. I don't care how much of the album you've got recorded, just scrap it. You're right, Wes Borland. We don't fucking care. Weezer released a new album last week, Pacific Daydream. I reviewed it. Gotta say, man, I'm disappointed. And I know I had a couple friends ask me, I didn't know you liked Weezer. I do. I like some of their stuff. The main reason that I've been listening to them lately is because my son said that I look like Rivers Cuomo, only a little better. The singer. And I'm thinking, God, is my son giving me a compliment, or is he saying, God, Dad, you look like a fucking dork. You wear glasses. You look like the guy from Weezer. But, does Rivers Cuomo go into a bar and got chicks giving him phone numbers because he's in Weezer? I mean, if that's the case, fuck yeah, I'll sign up for that every day of the week. Yeah, I'm like Rivers Cuomo. You know it. I hope I'm saying his name right. I'm probably slaughtering that too. But the record, I'm like, where's the guitars at? It's not terrible. Trust me, there's way worse out there than Weezer. But I miss the guitar. I mean, I could usually count on getting a bit of guitar in their music. It's just not there. At least I didn't hear it on that album. And then unfortunately I'm gonna wrap it up with some more of these bullshit fucking predators. They're everywhere. And it's that Kurt Webster, he's a CEO of Webster PR. It's a public relations firm. And he's got, they represent Dolly Parton, Meatloaf, and some artist said that he went to see him and to get a recording contract or something. I'm not for sure what the whole story was, but he made this guy get naked. And my whole thing to that is, if I was in a band, okay, let's say it's Bad Field Trip, right? They'd call me up. Hey, we're such and such records. We want to sign Bad Field Trip. You need to come out to California tomorrow. Okay? Get on the plane, and I go out there, and oh yes, are you Scumbag? Yes. Hell, how about that? Well, Mr. Such and Such wants to see you right now, Scumbag. So I open the door, and then the door closed, and he's like, all right, we're going to sign you to 5 albums, but I need you to take your clothes off. Guess what? Turn the doorknob, and I walk right the fuck back out. It's not... I'm not doing that. Okay? And I'm not trying to rip on this singer. Austin Rick, I think is his name. I'm not trying to rip on him. But fuck that. Taking my clothes off. Unless it was, okay, I'm kidding. No. I'm just saying, it's like, especially nowadays, you don't need a fucking recording contract from any kind of record label to make money. Everybody records their own shit now. Well, you can. So, but I did see something nice out of this, and I'm going to give him some credit for it. Kid Rock was he represented him. Kurt Webster is his name. I think I just mentioned that. But anyway, Kid Rock got rid of him and said, yep, I'm done. Cutting all ties off with you, and that's good. So, yeah, it's everywhere. These fucking pigs are everywhere, and it's not stopping. So for all the people that are already sick of seeing it, reading it, hearing about it, it ain't stopping. It's going to keep coming, and me personally, I'm glad. Fuck all them scumbags. And there you go. Now you can go enjoy your college football. Alright. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take it easy. And if it's easy, take it twice. I'm out.